Good evening. Hello. I say it every week. We have made it to another Tuesday. We have got this far. Oh, look, it's coming up on Facebook and on YouTube and Twitch. Tuesday. Good evening to everyone. Oh, let me turn that down. Do that every week as well. Did I just do that the right way? Yes, I think I did. Otherwise, I'd be listening to me too, hearing myself in echo. So, good evening, everybody. Yes, we'll be turning cards tonight and giving out some messages, and I've taken a couple of notes about things to talk about at the moment as well. So I'll just wait for a few more people to catch up. Hello, Eva. Good evening. Good to see you back. Hello, Katie. I don't know why they're not coming up on my mainstream, but they are coming up on the Facebook, so I kind of have to jump across. Hello, Emily. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. And Charlotte, hello. Oh, it's finally catching up. Here we go. Tian, good evening. How are y'all doing? How did we handle that full moon that we just had? A little bit confused, really. It was a few different places I was reading about it, whether or not it was Sunday or Monday. But it was a pink moon and a little bit hectic. Tell you what, it exhausted me. My energy levels have just been just physically really tired. And then that, of course, makes me emotional and maybe a little oversensitive. And so that just adds to my day. Really, doesn't it add to all of us? Maureen, you did make it. Good to see you. Restless sleep. Oh, dreaming. What is going on? It feels like it has been months, and weird dreams too. I've noticed. Yes. Strange people doing strange things in my dreams. Hard to process. That energy definitely about, and just exhausted. I noticed even today there was a few times where I could have easily had a little power nap, which I think we need from time to time. But yeah, just found this full moon. And of course, we had that big build up to the full moon, and the full moon being about energy release. And I think we had that Mercury retrograde there as well, which added to it. And then we've come out of that and then gone into a full moon, which is a great time to release things. Okay, so we can release them to the full moon, letting things go, letting the full moon know what it is that you'd like to let go of. And I always like to think of the full moon period as those 3 days. You know, obviously that day before, the day of, the day after. So I still think it's a good time. And to be honest, you can do a ritual for releasing energy or releasing things at any time. We're just adding that extra power to it when we talk about doing that during the full moon. And what happens next now that we've been through this? Hello, Tamika. Yes, another Tuesday night. Oh, epicness. Oh, good. I like that word. And yes, Maureen, I have already popped you down on the list. You're first on because I did miss you last week. So I've popped you on there, and Aoife as well. You are on there too. But we'll keep an eye on that as we go. I do con my daughter into helping me out. So she writes down the names as we go because I can't talk, read comments, and write names down and drink tea all at the same time. So what can we expect at the moment now that we've come through this big sort of full moon that was already exhausting? Well, what happens now is the moon starts to lose a little bit of light each night now. So it starts to get a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. So you're going to find that that's going to probably happen with your energies as well, because we've had this big build up. So now the hecticness starts to decline a little bit. You know, the heavy emotions, howling at the moon starts to fade a little bit, and we start letting go and releasing, and then we go all the way down to that new moon when there appears to be no moon in the sky that night. Of course there is, there's just no reflection from the sun, and that's kind of like the birth, because as of the night from then onwards, the moon starts to gain a little bit of light. So we are building up the next 14 days to that new moon, and that's when you can start deciding what it is that you'd like to plant again. The seeds that you'd like to plant, the things that you'd like to grow in your life, the things that you'd like to bring into your life. Great time for manifestation. But we do have this release now and that kind of drop of energy, and I think we feel it a little bit. And then we come back up into that new one. So I think that's a good way of explaining it at the moment. I didn't want to really talk about the moon too much tonight. There's been lots of talk about... Oh no! Margaret! Oh, I've lost you. You've lost me. Where did I go, George? Where did I go? I was hoping when Mercury retrograde finished that technology and communication would get a little bit better. It doesn't seem to have been. So I'm still having plenty of problems with my internet, with communications and dates and times. It still feels a little bit hectic. So maybe there's a little bit more going on in astrology, or maybe that's just life at the moment. But I did have a very interesting conversation last week with a gorgeous lady, and we were FaceTiming, and I as soon as she sort of answered, it was just on my mind at that moment, because I had things going on in my world, and I was just like, where are all the good people gone? And I was really frustrated because a lot of people I was coming, in contact with or having to deal with were not nice people and not doing nice things. Now, that's one of the things about being a reader. I love my job. You all know that, and I feel very blessed to be able to do it. But of course, I read for all walks of life, people in all different situations. I read for the person that's just lost their job, but I've also read for the boss that has to regrettably have to let somebody go or fire them, so I see both sides of the story. I read for people, the ones that, in a relationship, somebody's being unfaithful and they're having an affair, and I can see they're hurt. But then I have to also sometimes read for the person that is the affair. And it's, I have to be non-biased. It's not about me. It's not about my beliefs or my thoughts. It's about their situation, how they're feeling, and what's coming in next for them. That was just some examples, but just other things too, dealing with some government departments and other things. Just where have all the nice people gone? And then I thought about all of you guys, and I'm like, I know where they are at 7:30 on a Tuesday night. We all come united together here, and I love that. But just trying to find my faith in humans again. I know there's plenty of good ones, but I tell you what, there's some really just annoying the shit out of me a bit at the moment. So here's a reminder for everyone: if you are feeling the same way, losing a little bit of faith in the humans in the world, there are good people, and there are good people doing good things. So I was going to try and find a good news story, but I ran out of time. Time has not been my friend today. But that was just a little thing. So if you are feeling that way sometimes, and we do tend to lose the faith, maybe in the universe, or just, in our gods, or like I said, in the people around us, or the people that we're dealing with, remind yourself, that there are good people. Look, there's a list of them. I can give you a list of them right here in the comment section. And those of you that are viewing, hi Deb, how you going? Yes, Sharon, we will pop you on the list. Margaret, I hope you can get back wherever you've lost me to. That's a shame. And I think I've mentioned everyone else. I don't always get all of the messages through. So then, because I was thinking about something to talk about tonight, and like I've said before, if you have a question, if you have something you would like to share, maybe it's an interesting article, askravencooper@gmail.com. That's simple. Or you can message me through the threefold page, or through my Raven Cooper Facebook page, or through the YouTube, or through the Twitch. It doesn't matter how you get to me. But if you do have questions or suggestions or things you'd like to share, maybe it's something you've come across, maybe it's something you've learnt, please let me know. Don't ask for cards in the when you contact me outside of tonight, because I take that list tonight when those people that show up and that are here. But plenty of questions, please let me know. So I was flicking through my quotes through my socials, like you do when you just want some, mind-numbing, time-wasting activities. But I was thinking about I had been thinking about people, okay? Yes, Tamika, we will hop you on. Emily, every day. But it does make me really appreciate the great people in life and who I come across. It does, doesn't it? It does. It does make us appreciate the good ones that we have and the ones that we hold close. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about, when you're hanging out with these people, or when you're dealing with them, that then you're kind of taking on their energy as well. And I find myself becoming a little bit not so nice, and sort of maybe even coming home and kind of being like, I'm getting a bit negative, I'm feeling a bit down, and reminding myself of the things that I can do to sort of lift that or change it or clear it. And one of the things I wanted to talk about a lot tonight, to start with, was sound, because it's not something we often touch on when we talk about, grounding or protecting ourselves or clearing our energies, and what a great tool it is to be able to use. So the quote that I came across, and I forgot to write down the name of the woman it was for, so sorry, it'll be out there in the world, but hard times require furious dancing. And I went, yes, they do. Dancing. When was the last time you just, then that got me thinking, when was the last time I danced, or when I'd moved, or when I'd done that? Well, actually, it was on the weekend. I got to have a little bit of a dance, which was very special. But the idea of, we quite often think of when we're holding on to negative emotion, or we're holding on to negative energy, or we feel like it's kind of clinging to us. If you've got something in your life where you're really trying to, mull through it, you've got to make some big decisions. Maybe you've got some mental conflict going on, and you're kind of bouncing around in your own head. And quite often, meditation is good for that, sitting quietly is good for that, sitting with your higher self, like they're all great things. I'm not taking away from those, but sometimes that just doesn't suit us, particularly if it's pissed us off. Okay, I always think of sort of anger, it sort of creates this different kind of energy. Often when it's sorrow or hurting, we do want to be a bit still, we do want to just be a bit quieter, go away and self-soothe and kind of heal. But sometimes we're just pissed off, which we are absolutely allowed to be. I don't think being, spiritual or believing in spirituality means that you're not allowed to get pissed off about things. Okay, you totally can. Which made me then think about, yes, movement. Dancing. When was the last time you had a little dance, even if it was by yourself? Or even, it doesn't even have to be that. When was the last time, or when you've got this energy happening and you're getting, just pissed off, going for a walk. Or maybe even if you're just sitting in a chair, shaking the hands out, doing some movement, because the movement's a really good way to shift that energy. If we think about our energies like water, if we sit it in a bucket and it sits stagnant for a week, it gets all festy and you can't drink it and it's not good for you. If we go to a stream that's running where the water's moving, then you have a better chance of that being good energy, of that being clearer water, and that you can drink from it. So thinking of your energy that way. So for me, movement's very important, and I have really struggled. And for those of you, that do have injuries or ailments that stop your movement, I absolutely feel for you. But, I can't really complain. My knee is getting better, but it has absolutely slowed me down. And so I'm finding it hard because I can't go for my big walks and I can't move as fast as I normally would and do the things that I normally do, that my energy is getting a bit stagnant, and then it tends to just, increase and get stronger, and then I get frustrated with other things. I was talking to a gorgeous client of mine about a young man that could do with clearing some negative energy, and we were talking about how it was difficult for him to, he doesn't really want to go to counseling, he doesn't want to do meditation, he doesn't want to do the calm stuff, but he's angry and he's got things to heal. And someone once told me some good advice, a gentleman, and he said, he sometimes you have a choice. Is it alcohol? Is it drugs? Is it escape? Or go to the gym and throw heavy things around? And I think that's a really good example. I know a lot of people that do go to the gym, and it's more for that mental health, that shifting of the energy. So I think that's a really good way to think about it. We're going to think about movement, in ways that we can move energy sometimes, even if it's a walk around your backyard. You find if you go for a walk, you won't even feel the walk because the brain can just kind of click over things. It can move things a little bit easier. We can think a little bit clearer. It's a bit like when you go for a big drive or you're driving somewhere, the mind tends to just go where it wants and fix what it wants while you're driving, while you're physically doing something. That subconscious mind or that higher self can kind of have some time to sort itself out, because we shut up for a little while. And we let all those other higher self and our intuition talk. So energy being like water, remembering and watching that it's not getting stagnant, make sure we keep it moving. And even just little things like change your lounge room around. Get up and clean out a cupboard that's been driving you nuts. I find sometimes if we can take that energy, that frustration, and turn it into fuel, we can surprise ourselves with a couple of things that we can get done. Hang on, I know I've missed some messages here. Oh, Katie, I love that you've just bought yourself a punching bag. That is a fabulous idea. I did boxing for a few years, absolutely loved it. Actually, it's interesting because I just bought my son a punching bag for him as well, and I'm quite tempted. It's great. And even, just grabbing a pillow and just giving it a good slam against the bed or against the lounge or whatever. I have been known occasionally, very rarely, but sometimes it's nice to just break something. Not somebody, something. I have just gone, you know what? I'm not going to drop that because I just need to break it. And not for something I don't need and something I don't, that doesn't have worth to me, or we can talk about recycling and all that. But sometimes it's just nice. Let's smash some plates. Why not? Especially if they've got a chip or a crack in them, because you can't use them anyway. So clearing clutter, I wrote down a few things and a few little hacks that I come across for being able to shift that energy through movement. So clearing clutter, airing everything out. That's super important. Actually, I often do that because I spend a lot of time in my car. Sometimes I can feel, that it just needs a little bit of a clearing energetically. And the other day I did that. I put the windows down. I turned the radio up, put my playlist on that I enjoy, sung at the top of my lungs, and just the wind going through the car and the sound and the vibration, it really did clear everything. So that was really good for me. Again, that's my personal preference, but I do enjoy it. Getting back to some old favorites, burning some incense responsibly, not near curtains. Candles, maybe sage if you use sage, or Palo Santo, but sound. So bells, ringing bells. That's why a lot of people have bells on their doors, is because every time they open or close them, they're clearing the energy, okay? Not just in shops to let them know when there are customers coming in. Quite often you'll see them in homes and things because it's helping clear the energy. And if you don't have a bell, a couple of, a pot and a wooden spoon. It doesn't matter. What we're doing is we're creating that vibration and we're sending it out and we're clearing that energy. And these may be things that you already know, but I find with myself, I know all this stuff, but I just kind of forget it, or I just need to remind myself it's that simple. And how good would that feel if you're feeling a bit pissed off, a bit frustrated? You grab yourself a saucepan and a wooden spoon and you just beat the shit. That would be great, wouldn't it? A bit of drumming. We'll call it drumming because it sounds a little bit more romantic. So also what we can do for our homes, and I'm going to talk more about this, I think, in the future, is you all know how much I love, my magical herbalism and my resins and all those kinds of things. So I thought if we just kind of maybe talk about one each week, we'll slowly build that up as well. Something you should all probably have in your pantry, salt. Salt is a fantastic energy cleanser. Especially after we've just been through that Mercury retrograde, or maybe you've had visitors that you like, but it's nice that they've gone home, or maybe there was an argument in your home and you want to clear the energy. Oh, an old Tibetan bell. Wonderful. I love that. Sometimes they just drop without your help. That's true, Maureen. That's very true. That would be fantastic. A Tibetan bell. I should have got a couple out. Even your big crystal bowls, anything like that. How you can run your finger around like a wine glass. If you wet your finger and kind of can get it making that really sweet kind of sound, that would work as well. So salt in the corners of your home. Now, that doesn't mean you have to sprinkle it on the carpet. You could put it into like an empty tea bag, or like an organza bag, not plastic, because we're really taking, kind of sealing it then, and we don't want to seal it too much, or maybe in a dish, but lots of little ways. I did have some little organza bags, the ones you get from the junk shops, $1 for like, I don't know, $5, and we'd just put my salt in that and actually hang one at the end of my curtain rail, just to help keep things cleansed. You can also put, salt across your front doorway, and we don't have to put, it's not a kilo of salt. It's a little bit of salt and a lot of intent. So that's really good around the perimeter of your home. So lots of different ways where we can use salt for cleansing. Popping it in the bath with you as well is a good way. You'll certainly know if you've injured yourself anywhere, if you do. And some plants in the home. Now, I love plants. I have them in my office everywhere. I have them upstairs as well. I love my devil's ivy. It just grows in everything, water, soil, whatever you want. But getting some plants, bringing the life into that house, art as well, and whatever that is for you. Bringing in, changing them around, changing furniture around, shifting that energy. Maybe a space you'd like to create. I enjoy doing this. I have obviously my bookshelves and my spaces in my office. But if you're someone that really enjoys watching the seasons, and you might decide that you're going to get a little corner of your room, or maybe a little table outside, And maybe, you'd like to set that up for spring. And so for all of spring, you put things that remind you of spring and new life and things coming to life and all of that. Maybe there's a deity or a goddess that you'd like to, or a god that you'd like to work with that. You might like to put some fruit out or light an incense. Just give a real connection with nature and what season you're in and where you are, because it's October. Like, do we all get that next month is November? And then November is December, and that it's the end of the year? Time has lost all its bearings. I'm struggling with what month it is. It's just crazy time at the moment. So maybe just creating a space for yourself. Or you can put the things that you love. And of course, crystals. I love my crystals. If you remember to put them out under the full moon to cleanse them and charge them. But if you are someone that's struggling with negative energy at the moment, especially in your own aura, or having to kind of send negative energy back, grab yourself some citrine. I do have, it will look a little like this. Okay, so that's beautiful. That's a little citrine cluster there. And of course you can get the tumbled pieces, but I do love me some citrine. Fantastic for cleansing and abundance and for money. But it's great. See this little fella here, it can't hold negativity. Okay, it's one of the only crystals that never needs cleansing. And if I put another crystal on top of it, it will cleanse that crystal. So again, we don't have to wait for the full moon. We can cleanse crystals with sage. We can cleanse them with Palo Santo. You can bury them in the earth. You can cleanse them in water. You can pop them on citrine. There's lots of different options that you can use. But citrine, fantastic for protecting the aura and cleansing negative energy. Got to keep up distress. Whoops, hang on. You have way too many mugs. Think I'll smash them all to declutter and distress. I'm not sure what I'm endorsing, but I kind of want to say yes. But at the same time, maybe we should give them to charity or recycle them. But you know what? I'm going to give you permission, because if it feels good, Emily, I want you to do it. I really do. And you know what I think would be a good idea? Like if we got some, like, how you get the heat packs, but like smaller versions of them, like just something that you could like throw on the ground and just, wow, and it doesn't split open, hopefully, but you could use them again and again and again. Water bombs might be fun too. Now you got me thinking about different ways to get rid of my frustration. There's other ways, but that's for the late night show. All right, what else did I write down here today to have a chat about? Anyone got any questions? How's your week been? Have you all been having a good week? Are you having a good day? Teresa, yeah, you're on there, Teresa. We have added you. Any other questions? Halloween's coming up soon. Then there's that thing on the 25th of December. That's just around the corner. Someone was talking about weeks, or like 10 weeks till Christmas or something crazy like that. All right, I've got my cards out. We're going to start having a look. What's that? I'm just trying to get this right. What's a good TV series I should watch? You can leave that in the comments at any time. You don't have to answer that right now. My daughter and I enjoyed both the 2 seasons of Fate, which is based on the Winx. But it was fabulous. And if you like yourself some magic and witchy-woo, do yourself a favour and watch it. I quite enjoyed it. All right. Oh, Angela, hello. Oh, yes. Crystals. Tamika, can we energetically deal with someone who keeps pushing our boundaries? Yes. Now, in which way would you like to deal with that? So, we can, of course, always firstly protect your own energy. Okay, so that can be just visualizing surrounding ourselves in that wonderful like bubble of white light, and nothing can penetrate that, nothing can come through it, or even mirrors deflecting, sending it back. Okay, so goes around, comes around, sending it back to them. Energetically protecting our boundaries. Let me think of how else I would do that. Right, it depends on what they're doing. Okay. There is those ones that we all hear about and I've used in the past and have worked for me, popping their name in the freezer is a really good idea, or a photo of them and the reason why. Energetically setting your boundaries though. If you were in an office environment, again, we could set up our 4 citrines, we could set up ourselves a grid, or you could create a grid nearby you to be able to do that. But I think the best way energetically to do it is through visualization, is through intent. I send it back to you threefold. I send it back to you. I'm not going to absorb it. I'm not taking it on. We have our free will as well in that, in that too. So it's about going no and sending it back energetically. I think is probably the best way to do that. Or even, having a chat with the universe or your guides. I will often use Archangel Michael because, he can use his shield to protect us, but he can use his sword to cut cords and to disconnect. Or if you want someone to leave your world, we don't always have to wish them nasty things. What's the biggest thing that often distracts people or gets them to, go off on a different path? Send that person the love of their life. Send them a wonderful new job. Send them, a wonderful holiday or something like that. So that's about going to the universe. I send this person all of this love and this wonderful things. They can go off, because when it comes back to you threefold, if you get the love of your life 3 times over, if you get, a wonderful holiday 3 times what you sent them, or you get a wonderful job 3 times. So it's about going. We don't have to send them a negative, to receive a positive. It's more about going, okay, how do we change this? If you're finding someone is literally sending you negative energy, you can kind of feel that coming from them. Really good one as well is when you're going to bed at night. Surround yourself from the center out, white light, and then, your bedroom, then your home, then your environment. Really protect yourself. And energetically setting those kind of boundaries. Onyx is really fantastic as well. Obsidian is very protective. Amethyst is very good for that, for protection too. So thinking about, what is it that you want to do to set those, what kind of boundaries is it? If it's just a neighbor, or it's something like that where it's just a bit annoying, they're a bit gentler. We can look at different ways, like I said, to do that. But, if it's someone that's really bullying and victimizing you and all of those things, then we're going to go slightly higher with things. So I guess it just depends on how you want to look at it. But I would definitely just try those couple of things to start with. But I do think definitely popping a name in a freezer. Katie, I reckon you've done that. I reckon you know what I'm talking about. Will often do the trick. Okay, it's my P2 who keeps trying to make me do partner training when I pay for one-on-one training and already told her no. Then she sprung a partnered session on me when I showed up for my session on Monday. Oh, Okay. These kind of boundary setting needs words, and it's very hard because you've been put in a situation that you don't enjoy, and you're someone who is the empath, so you're feeling their energies and their feelings as well as your own. But I think you have every right in that situation to sort of stand up and say, look, I wish not to, I don't appreciate, or maybe this is a sign that you need to change your PT as well there. That's just not a nice thing to do. Because you have said that's not what you wanted and that's not what you're paying for. So I think you have every right just to bring that up and to mention it to them. And we can go in, I'm the passive aggressive queen. I never go in too harsh. I always give people the chance to have that nice rational conversation. So maybe just saying here, I'd just like to have a quick, we've just had it brought to our attention that on Facebook, everyone is getting sent a message from a Mary Ting's Tarot. We're going to try and block that. That's obviously not somebody I endorse. It's not somebody that I even know. So please do not take any messages from them or send them any money. And I certainly don't think I would be booking a reading with them. So please be warned, it's on the Facebook at the moment. If they are contacting you, they are not part of this, are not part of anything I would want to answer. Are you seeing that? Yes, you got it, Angela. Please be careful. I've seen this happen a lot. They jump on and try and grab everybody on the way through. We're going to try and maybe do something here to block them. Just give me 1 second. And we were just talking about this at the beginning of the show, weren't we? Okay, this is, no, that's you, Tamika. Who is, no, I don't want to do that. Right. I've just blocked Mary. Sorry, Mary, but you're not welcome here. So for those of you that have received that, I do apologize, but it is a little bit out of my control. I'm just going to bring us back up again on Facebook. Okay, let me just see. Yes, I got it. Yeah, from Angela. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Well, they're not getting a card tonight, that's for sure. But yeah, so a bit like I just did then. So I think, Tamika, stand your ground with that one a little bit. And I know that's difficult. They shouldn't have put you in that situation. So I think that's more of a case of just going in there. And like I said, I can be a little bit passive aggressive. Hey, thanks for making the suggestion. However, I'm not interested in that. I'm only interested in one-on-one PT. And if you can't provide that for me, then unfortunately I will have to find somebody else that can. But stand up for yourself, Tamika. I understand that's really hard. I do. I don't like being put in those situations. I just, believe it or not, can struggle to stand up and say how I really feel. I know, Angela. People pushing my buttons, I tell you what. I Aries with a Leo moon and a Scorpio rising. I will burn that freaking house down. And it drives me nuts. And yeah, I'm going to vent because we all come on here. This is all our time. And enjoying each other's energies, sharing our spirituality, and then people that come in like that, and you know what? If you have to go chasing it, maybe you're not that good at it. Just saying. Katie, I did just see. Yes, Emily, you're on the list. Katie, your message. I'm playing records tonight on a mini 3-in-1 system. The best. Right, I have right beside me here. You can't quite see it, but I have my record player. You can just see the corner of it. And actually, the last record I was playing, can you grab the pink one behind mine? Would you believe it? Rod Stewart's greatest hits. I love it. So that was who I was listening to today. And then a bit of Michael Jackson, a bit of David Bowie, a bit of Bananarama. How good is Bananarama? Do we all remember them? Well, some of you will, some of you won't, but a bit of Bananarama. Love it. So well done, Katie. Music, like we said, great for shifting energy, great for moving things and remembering some of those old tunes that we love. Oh, so good. All right, let's get back to toting some cards. We're going to start with Maureen. Let's have a look. Get a lot of that go on with people coming on here trying to do stuff. Marcia Hines. Gosh, I haven't listened to her in so long. I did get a Nirvana vinyl the other day. Emily, I didn't think... I thought you're young and you might not. But yes, Katie, we have popped you on the list as well. I got a couple of cool records there that I just love. Actually, that was one of the things when I was in the UK, just want to brag a little bit for a second. The records you can get over there are so much cheaper than the records here. There was Michael Jackson ones and things, £10. Like over here, they sell for like $100. So I did pick up a couple of records while I was there. Do love me, record player. All right, let's have a look, Maureen. Let's pick a card for you. All right, let's see if you're going to see me a cup of tea. Oh, no, you can't. All right, Maureen, let's have a look. Let's go for a nice card. Okay. Oh. Interesting, Maureen. This one here is intuition. Okay, so this card is all about we're closing the door now to the past or to a chapter of our lives and we're moving forward. You're very protected there. We've got that Egyptian ankh. But what this card says is right now, you got to trust your intuition. Trust those gut instincts. What's it telling you? Don't worry about what it says on paper. It doesn't matter what someone else's opinion is. It's like, what is your gut telling you right now? And to trust that. that? So even though this should be giving you a message, the card's kind of saying you already know what you need to do. So just trust it, but being very protected here. That Egyptian ankh and closing the door to the past, or let's look at it as starting a new chapter. But a really good card. And also, if you have anything going on with the humans in your life, trust your gut. You know you've got good intuition, lady. Listen to it. This one here, though, good card. Maybe use it. This is number 2 here. So maybe using that intuition to make your decision, or that gut instinct right now, and trusting it. Trust it, because you've got it. Hello. Hi, Jess. Good to see you. Okay, let's have a look. Aoife, your turn. Okay. I'm really trying hard to figure out how to do the split screen on Facebook so I can get some guests on so we can share that. So if anyone does know, please fill me in. I'd love to hear it. I'll look at my table. It's a bit... My daughter made gluten-free cinnamon scrolls. I was having one beforehand. All right, let's have a look, Aoife. Oh, the Harmony card. This is my fairy tale card. You guys know I love this one. I love all of my cards, but even the bad ones, even my camera's doing something weird tonight. But this one is saying, and I'm going to keep this one explanation a little bit shorter because you guys have heard me say it before. This is all about the fairy tale, okay? But we had it in our heads when we were kids that Prince Charming came along and he saved the princess. That's not what happened at all. Cinderella got herself out of that castle. She got herself a dress. She got herself a carriage. She got herself to the ball. She got her own glass slippers, for God's sake. He just turned up. And that's what they're saying right now in this card, is that your happily ever after is coming, but don't ever think that they're coming in to save you. You saved yourself. That's why you deserve this ending here. This is why you deserve the happily ever after. But some harmony coming in, maybe some romance, but they come in very equal. The hands here, they don't clasp hands like this, because if we do this and one of us falls, we both fall. The idea being here, if one falls, the other can catch. And then it's very even. So this card here, like I said, you've done the hard work. You got yourself to the ball. Now, come on in, your Prince Charming. I like that card. Or, you know, like we said, the happily ever after. So some good things coming your way. A bit of a romance card. I do like it. I do. All right, Sharon, let's have a look. I will let you know eventually, not just yet. I will be clicking over to just doing this on the YouTube channel because it does help a little bit less with some technical difficulties that I am having, and maybe even the split screen being able to do that. So I always put the link, if you're on YouTube, I always put the link in the description of the video beforehand. Ooh, Aoife. Interesting. I've been doing an affirmation saying I'm ready for a healthy love. A healthy love. Now, that's a really good way to put it, isn't it? There's an ad on the radio at the moment. I know it might be Hit 105, B105, something like that. It has to be one of those because that's what I listen to. No, and 99.7 Bridge FM, of course, from 9 till 12 on Friday mornings with Raven. But when I was maybe listening to another radio station, there's an ad on for some TV show or something. Anyway, she says, I want a best friend who makes me laugh and horny all at the same time. And that's her relationship description. I thought I quite like that too. So maybe add that to your affirmation. You're welcome, Maureen. All right, Sharon, let's have a look. Table's a bit dirty tonight. It's sugar. Because I love me some sugar. All right, let's have a look, Sharon. Let's see. What do you reckon, Sharon? Up this way, a bit further? A little bit more. Oh. Just there. I think you had this card last time. The patience card. Blech. Who wants to be patient? But this card says here that the seeds have been planted. We've planted some good seeds and we're going to start seeing results. We're going to see this white lily growing. We're going to get what we are looking for here. But you kind of look at it at the moment like nothing's happening, Raven. nothing's happening. And I'm like, I know, having that patience, because it is going to come to fruition. It is going to grow into that wonderful white lily. And then this person here, they kind of look up and go, oh, look, it's here. I didn't realize that was all going on in the background. A little bit of maybe Jack and the Beanstalk. But it's a little bit of patience now. It is coming here, but at the moment, it just feels like it's just still seeds. But stick with it. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Tamika. Let's have a look. Ooh. Hey, I was thinking, I did a show month or so, be more than that now, a couple of months ago, where we did have a look at card readings. And that night I had a couple of issues, and also my mic wasn't working when the examples were coming up. So I was thinking, on a night very shortly, I will put it up on the socials beforehand. Maybe if you do have a deck of cards, maybe you have this deck of cards or any deck of cards, maybe looking at how we can do some short readings for ourselves, or doing some reading for ourselves in a group together, but having a chat again how we can get to reading for ourselves as well, and maybe getting into the daily practice of that. Patience of a saint. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, Tamika, let's have a look. Okay, cards. Oh, they want to split a little bit there. Let's bring these guys in. Okay, Tamika. Oh, you bring me back down here. Third eye chakra. You know, they're my favorite things that I look forward to hopefully teaching a workshop very soon, just working on some dates and my knee getting a little bit better. Or maybe even doing some Tuesday nights leading up to it. But this one here is a third eye chakra. So this is telling me here that, you know, we're really looking for that clarity, okay? And clarity's coming. You're going to start getting that clarity very, very soon. But also what your premonitions, your dreams. So you might have found it's been a bit foggy. You know, you couldn't really see what was going on maybe with situations, a bit like with the PT, where you're like, hang on a second, why are you doing this and then doing that? You know, I said this. Could you not see clearly what I was saying? But this one here, it's just about clarity's coming back. So if you have had that fog and that heaviness there, it is going to lift, and things, you will see clearly again where you're headed and the things that are going on around you. So a good card, you could find some intense dreaming at the moment. Aoife was just mentioning that earlier, that we're all still having those really lucid, intense dreams right now. Amethyst would be fantastic for this. But also, like I said, if you found that your intuition, your clairvoyance hasn't been at its usual best, it coming back in again now. Or maybe you've been a little bit of, you know, that mental conflict going on, wasn't sure what you wanted. It's all going to start becoming quite clear, and you're going to be able to see where you're headed. So a good card. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, Teresa, let's have a look. Geez, I'm bashing this mic around tonight, aren't I? Kane. Emily, I loved it. Kane, good. Yeah, I was thinking about that. And plus, I have a couple of other decks that I'd like to show you as well. And so I've got a lot in my collection here, and I'm sure you probably all got some of them as well. And some that I'd recommend, and some I enjoy. Might even start doing some books that I've used in the past that I've loved as well, and things that you should get hold of. One of my favorite crystal books, actually, I have sitting right here. I've had this for probably 14 or 15 years. I'm a big fan of Judy Hall when it comes to crystals. And this is the Crystal Prescriptions. Fantastic book. If you are wanting to work with crystals, if you're wanting to get right into your crystals, she just goes into a little bit more detail about how you can use them for the physical ailments. So things like indigestion, but also things like envy. There's ones here for environmental pollution, so things that you can work on that in your home. Things for itching. If you are itchy, or maybe you could rub this on a mosquito bite, is your aquamarine. So it goes through everything from like stomach ulcers to headaches to fevers, just different crystals that she would recommend. It's called Crystal Prescriptions by Judy Hall. You'll probably pick up a really cheap one on eBay, or you might even see one of these at the Book Fest, at the Lifeline Book Fest. You just see them around, but a fantastic book when it comes to more of the physical ailments. It says here over 1,200 symptoms and their healing crystals. So it's a good book, good read. Sorry, let's get back to it, Teresa. Little bit distracted. You're very welcome, Tamika. Thank you. All right, let's have a look. And a big thank you again to everyone for joining in tonight on Facebook, especially again on YouTube, on Twitch. See, they're jumping around a little bit. It's not like my cards. They don't tend to jump. They just did it again. You know what? Teresa, we're going to take these 2 cards that have jumped out. So, very interesting. This one here, conflict and defeat. So, it feels to me when I look at these 2 cards together, you have one of 2 choices. You either give in and give up and go back to what you know and back to old ways, or confidence, ego, willpower, strength, and you conquer it. You see, it's interesting. All this yellow light at the top of this card represents this, and he's halfway up the stairs. He's halfway to what he wants or where he wants to be or what he wants to do or what he knows he should do. And he gets halfway up and he gets a bit tired and defeated, as we all do. There's been many a times I've done this card, okay? And he goes, no, I'm just going to go back to what I know. I'm just going to go back to this little bit of light. But then this candle burns out and he's sitting at the bottom of the stairs in the dark going, I should have kept going all the way to the top. Is it going to take confidence, courage? You're going to have to back yourself. Is it going to take willpower? Yes, it is. Okay, but it's about, do you want to make permanent change? Do you really want to move away from this thing that only really brings you a little bit of light from time to time? I'm going to turn one more card to kind of put them together as well, because they did jump out. And I do like to choose one as well. So we're going to have a look. Let's pan these out. All right, Teresa. And then we have Emily and Kate, and then we will do a card for the week. Oh, Teresa. No, we're digging through here. Not much help, but not too bad. So this one here is the Destiny card. Oh, difficult, because it's saying here, what's going on with my camera? Take your hands off the wheel. Now, if you're someone like me that likes a little bit of control, I don't like to have big plans, but I do like to sort of know where I'm headed, even if it's just the day. Okay, I get up in the morning, I'm like, okay, this is my day, bang, bang, bang. But this card here is actually saying to you, at the moment, you might need to take your hands off the wheel and let the universe make the decisions a little bit. Let the universe show you what someone's actually like. Let the universe show you what decision it is that you should be making. Trust that the universe is going to bring you the strength or the courage, like that willpower, that solar plexus that we just talked about. So take your hand off the wheel a little bit at the moment, Teresa. I know that can be hard to do, and just you got to have faith in the universe and trust that net's going to appear, that it's going to be there for you, and that this is all happening for a reason. I know when we're going through things, that's the last thing that we want to hear. But have some faith in it and keep going. Don't go back to those old ways or that small light. It's like keep going so that we can have that big change and that much, that permanent light coming in. Love it. Emily, let's have a look. Oh, you applied for a job today. Good girl. Well done. Good job. Hello, Joanne. Yes, we will pop you on the list, and you'll be my last one for tonight until we do the group reading for everybody for the rest of the week. Again, if you enjoy tonight, if there's something that you like coming along to 7:30 every Tuesday night, please like and share it with your friends. The more we can get good people together, the better. So let's have a look. Emily. Okay. Oh, nope, up here, all the way up here. All right, Emily. Oh, yep. Yes. Disruption card. Okay, in this card, he has the straitjacket on and he has the shackles on. He feel like he's been going crazy. He's restricted. Those shackles keep him tight. He's been going a bit nuts, hasn't had the freedom that he's wanted. Or maybe right now he's sacrificing things. Maybe he's saving money. Maybe he's staying a little tight because he knows that the light is coming. This is all going to break up. So where you felt restrictions or where you felt stuck before, whether that was in a job or a situation or a home, it's about going here. These shackles, this light's going to come through and it's going to drop all of this. It's all going to start to separate and we're going to see the light coming in. So you're literally taking off that straitjacket. You're taking off the shackles. You're starting to see your freedom. The crazy's starting to leave because you know where you're going and what you're going to do. So a really good card. So you may have been feeling a little bit hectic, but now feeling like you're getting more control and the light is coming in. Love it. All right, Katie, let's have a look. Listening to your records. have a look. What do you reckon, Katie? Where are we going to go with these? Oh, I want to just go bang in the middle. Like, stuck in the middle of you. What do you reckon, Katie? Let's have a look. Ooh, Katie, partnerships and alliances. Someone reaching out to you here. 3, the number of creation. This could be something new. They're saying, hey, Katie, you want to come onto our team? Would you like this job? Would you like this opportunity? Do you want to join our friends group? Do you want to become part of this? Someone reaching out here. Now, it's not a relationship on a romantic level. This is more about partnerships and alliances. You know, we're part of the Commonwealth. If we had to go to war tomorrow, England should give us a hand because they're part of the Commonwealth as well. They're an alliance with us. So this is someone that really does have your back, but they're reaching out. Number 3, the number of creation, and going, hey, you want to come join our team? Here's an offer for you, or some support, or some help. Really lovely card. We can never have enough partnerships and alliances, right? So hopefully some opportunity coming your way. That'd be good news for you, Kate. Be good news. All right, Joanne, this one is for you, and then I'm going to turn a card for everybody for the week. Let's have a look. You're very welcome, Emily. All right, Joanne, let's have a look. Always welcome, Katie. Oh, no, Joanne, we're going down here. Here. Let's have a look. Rest and... Help if I use the right camera. Rest and rejuvenate. So, Joanne, now's a really good time to go and do the things that you love, or maybe just get some good rest. Look after yourself. Quite often when I see this card, the universe is kind of going, recharge those batteries. You know, that might be enjoying some Netflix, kicking back, you know, relaxing, getting a massage. It might be going hiking, if hiking is something that you love to do, or, you know, listening to music, or whatever it is that rejuvenates the batteries, because this is what it says here, rest and rejuvenate. So we don't necessarily have to go out to the forest and be meditating. It's about what rejuvenates you and brings you rest. Now, when I do see this card, it's almost sometimes the universe saying to you, hey, take a bit of a break, a breather, recharge, regroup, because some stuff is coming. Now, that can be really good, amazing things. It could be difficult things, but don't ever assume that it's always bad. Sometimes it's saying, get some rest, rejuvenate, because we've got some good times coming, or some big social events, or, you know, maybe we've got a new job coming, or a move, or something like that. So now's just a good time to get some rest, ready for that next chapter, that next thing to come in. All right, let's have a look for a card for everybody, a card for the week. Let's see. Thank you for everyone for coming along tonight again. And if you do have any metaphysical questions or things you'd like to discuss, or an interesting article that you've come across, please send it to me at askravencooper@gmail.com, or through the Facebook pages, or through YouTube, whatever. If you've got my number, just send it on through and I will put it on for the show the next week. But I am looking forward to maybe talking about how we can all do some different card spreads, look at some cards and things like that. All right, or we could do a pendulum night. We could bring our pendulums along. We could talk about that. All right, let's have a look for everybody for a card for the week. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, maybe up here? Oh, I'm divided. Okay. The crown chakra. We've had a couple of chakras tonight, haven't we? So this one is all about, this week, maybe spending some time, especially after that Mercury retrograde and that big full moon, spending some time to regroup. This is about wholeness. This is about oneness. This is about our connection with our gods or our universe, you know, what we believe in. And we, interesting enough, talked about that a little bit in the beginning, you know, getting back to some of those simple things, the things that sometimes can, you know, we can forget about, or we become just very busy, you know, clearing and saging our homes, you know, clearing our own energies, maybe having a nice, you know, having a cleansing bath, which we can put some Epsom salts in, you know, or some crystals in there as well to help clear our energy, clearing our energy in the shower, you know, and just imagining that white light, you know, coming down, raining down of you in the shower, or rainbows, whatever color makes you feel safe and secure and is cleansing for you. That's a really good way to wash away the day, literally, and visualize that negative energy going down the drain and disappearing. But this crown chakra, a week to maybe get back in touch with the things that you believe in, your gods, focusing on yourself, being whole, okay? Worship yourself. You're the queen and king. Why not do that? But like I said, our connection with our beliefs, so maybe that's a good sign for us all this week to trust the gods a little bit, and what's going on, and do something that makes you feel whole again, or complete. Or, I like to use that word. It's not about being selfish. Maybe we need to be self-full this week, and take care of ourselves, and then we can take care of others. All right, well, we're a little bit early tonight, but that's okay. I hope you've all had a good evening. Have a great week. Try and get some sleep tonight. Like I said, if you're struggling with dreams, you can always ask for a gatekeeper for your dreams, or ask Archangel Michael to protect you. Dream catchers, of course, all different ways, and keeping a dream journal as well, writing those down. Take care of yourselves. I will see you all next Tuesday. I absolutely look forward to it. Be good, be kind, be careful, and I'll see you all soon. Mwah.